Singleton, who is running for the Board of Commissioners in Cherokee County. I'm Trenton Adams. Welcome to the CCRP candidate interviews, and thank you for taking the time out of your campaign to participate in this interview process. We've extended this invitation to all candidates in this race and have found that it has been an asset that aids voters in making their decision. The video will appear on the Cherokee County GOP website, and every effort will be taken to maintain it exclusively on that site. The interview will be shown in its entirety. For the interview, we'll ask you around 30 questions but can offer no prompting. There are no right or wrong answers, only your answers. We ask each candidate the same questions. If this is all right with you, I'll have everyone introduce themselves, and then I'll ask Mr. Abrams to begin asking the questions.
Yes, sir.
Harry Abrams, thank you, Larry, for participating in this interviewing process. Are you currently a member of the Cherokee County Republican Party?
Yes, sir.
How do you see your involvement going forward, regardless of the outcome of this election?
I have, with my past experiences in the Republican Party, I have spoken with Rick Davies, the president, to create a committee or a group of people to help deal with candidates after they're elected and even after they fail to get elected, to raise funds to pay off their debts. Because that's an issue that I had when I both won my last race as commissioner, and then when I lost the race, is I had a considerable amount of personal debt that I had to put into it, and no one in the party would help me. So moving forward, win or lose, that's what I'm going to do.
Thank you. What is the job description of a commissioner?
I look at the job description of a commissioner. The way I explain it to constituents is a commissioner is like on the board of directors of a $180 million company with, I think it's 3,000 employees, and then I have the constituents is probably about 50,000 that live in this district, because we have about 200,000 people. And from that point of view, I'm on the board of directors just like I would be on the board of directors of a corporation that big. And it's my job to listen to my constituents, stockholders, and express their vision in what they want their county commissioners to do, board of directors. Of course, we have a CEO, the county manager, and take fiscal responsibility for all the taxes we collect, which includes sales taxes and property taxes.
Would you oppose public dialogue during a commissioner meeting?
No, sir. When I was previously served as Western District Commissioner, I was knocked down when I basically made the statement that I have no problem with people, other than in zoning cases where there's legal involvement, that it shouldn't be a specified period of time before the meeting. We're being paid by these constituents. If they want to get up there and talk about relevant matters for as long as they want, I'm willing to listen.
What plans do you care to present to prevent the ball ground recycling issue from happening again?
Well, the way I look at it is it's been I have a better understanding after meeting with Buzz Ahrens today and getting updated from his point of view of what happened. I'm a commercial real estate broker and a commercial real estate appraiser, and I also do site selections for Veterans Administration's clinics. So I have a keen understanding of real estate that I can bring to the table to keep things like this happen. But in my mind, you really need to bring in experts like lawyers and financial people beyond the experts on the commission to give you recommendations in these matters. And that's what I'm going to do to keep something like this from happening again.
Current county law states a noise ordinance is enforced during the hours of 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. when the marshal's office is closed. Who should one contact during these times for this and other issues like animal control?
Well, if the marshal's office is closed during those times, that's something that if elected, I need to take a look at. But during that time, we have a quite excellent police force. Maybe we should ask them to step up to the plate. But that's, they're like, we control their budget, but still you need to deal with the sheriff. It's like a complete little division of the company. That in my analogy of this, that we need to deal with that. So, and find a way to deal with it.
Um, what is your position on the bill to make certain offices, sheriff, district attorney, county commissioners, court clerk, nonpartisan?
You know, I really don't have an opinion on that. You know, we live in the second most conservative county in the country, behind the county that surrounds Franklin, Tennessee, which is south of Nashville. If you don't have conservative principles, whether you're running for judge or sheriff or district attorney, you're not going to get elected. You know, just by saying you're a member of the, if you just say you're a member of the Republican Party and you don't have conservative principles, you're probably not going to get elected. So I really don't have an opinion on that because I think the voters will see through.
What is your position on term limits?
I'm for term limits.
Okay.
Are there any conditions under which you would advocate raising millage rates?
You know, we pretty much in the county have zero-based budgeting. We have a budget, and we can strip the budget as much as we can. But as when I served before, and when I talked to constituents, you know, when I served before, it was a different time. You know, the economy was going like this. Now the economy's gone down here, and now we're kind of slightly moving our way up. If it became an issue of fire service or police service or protection of the public, I could see raising the millage rate. But you know, I'd want input from my constituents in District 4.
What is the current unemployment rate in Cherokee County?
I'm going to just give a guess. I would probably say around 6-7%.
For solutions to the traffic and other infrastructure issues, do you support the regional approach such as the Atlanta Regional Commission or another method of dealing with these issues?
In dealing with transportation, the state constitution says that the gas tax has to be funneled through the state constitution. And then if federal money is involved, it's a very complex formula. I really don't think the way it's allocated now by congressional districts is going to work, because Atlanta is at a point now where if we want to, and we are part of Atlanta, if Atlanta wants to compete with Dallas and compete with Houston, we're going to have some assistance in this east-west corridor, which is Highway 20, whether it's the widening of the existing Highway 20 or the north solution or the south solution. So, you know, we're part of the region. We got to be part of it. Now, on the other hand, for 2.5 decades, they've been holding a carrot in front of us saying, you know, we're going to help you widen Highway 20, or we're going to help you widen especially Bells Ferry Road. And it's always, when the list comes out, it's at the bottom. So I was talking with Buzz Ahrens this morning, and I've also talked with Jackie Archer, saying that, you know, I'm going to be a proponent of getting this, you know, because these roads, our needs, if they want our votes on a T-Splosh or whatever it is, I'm gonna want some of our roads put on the top of that list. Meaning we're not going to play that game anymore. That, you know, the people in Atlanta say, oh, we need your help. Oh, but we're not going to widen your roads.
Thank you.
There are a number of issues the agriculture industry is facing in Georgia, including water use, state and federal regulation compliance, tax reform, and immigration reform. What is your plan to address these issues for the agricultural community in Cherokee County?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lean on that commissioner from District 1 who has agriculture. District 4, which I will exclusively represent, has, you know, very little agricultural other than, you know, I have a garden in my side yard. You know, this is a very urban district. This district is more like Cobb County than it is like the beautiful rural area. So this is one of those questions where, you know, if I'm going to go to my constituents and ask them, you know, how do I want to address this, they're going to say, what agricultural? You know, so I'm going to really have to lean on, you know, the people I serve with up in Canton on that represent those areas where there's agriculture.
Should candidates for public office be required to release their tax records?
I have no problem with that. My tax records are pretty much now public. So, I have no problem with that.
Thank you.
Is the county large enough to have a county police force?
I have no idea what the answer to that question is because, I have always leaned on Roger Garrison, who is an award-winning, sheriff in our county. And, we would have to get input from the cities. If we're going to have a county police force, it needs to cover everything, including the cities. I don't see a problem with it, but it is one of those things that's beyond my area of expertise. It's one of those things that I'm going to have to look at the experts and try to make a common sense decision that's best for the county.
What is the Commission's role in information infrastructure such as internet and communications?
It would be nice if we could talk Google into wiring our county to make it really, really fast internet. Because, as I can see, you work out of your home just like me, and sometimes, during the evening, the internet gets clogged with my children who are in college on it. But one way I can see us getting involved in the internet is currently regular folks and companies and attorneys are required to put advertisements in the Cherokee Tribune. And in my mind, this is a waste of money because down in this district, very few people get the Cherokee Tribune, especially the edition that has the legal advertisements. So why should we ask people to pay for those advertisements when we could, at a very minimal cost, put them on the county website? So I hope I've answered that question. I guess there is no right or wrong answer. Excuse me.
Do you support the public release of the Ball Ground Recycling Center audit?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Currently, the legal aid for Cherokee County costs around $700,000. Could this be reduced?
Without a doubt, you can count if elected in the first 90 days. I'm going to have this looked at because when I served, we had a county attorney that made under a couple of $100,000 a year, who was right down the hall when we needed him, rather than having to make a phone call or an appointment. And of last I checked, our legal fees are in excess of $700,000. So that's a no-brainer in cutting the budget right there.
Thank you.
What is the life of the Ball Ground Recycling Center bond?
I think it's 15 years. And I'm just going to make a wild guess, 15 years.
What can the Cherokee County Commission do to spur economic development?
I have two ways I think that we need to look at this. One is we need to focus on small businesses, which are the backbone of the American economy. How can we make it easier in all of Cherokee County, including the cities? And I see some things in the city of Woodstock that need to be fixed, and I can be an advocate for that because it's in my district. Yes, I can't vote for that and change it, but I can show up at every meeting and bark at those guys saying you're making it too hard for people to do business in this city, which is in this county. So, I'm going to work really, really hard on making it very easy for small businesses, and this includes looking at those licensing fees that you're supposed to pay. And my opinion is if I start a little internet company that's me, or if I become or an appraiser in my home, well, why do I have to pay a licensing fee to do that? And you do, or you're supposed to. So that's the microeconomic answer. The macroeconomic answer is we have a really good economic development authority, and we have today Buzz Aarons shared an awesome list of things we can sell our county on. Well, we got to go sell our county. And one place we can go, there's a group I used to belong to called Cornet Global. And Cornet Global is the corporate real estate network of executives who work in big companies like General Electric, like Home Depot, etc. And they make the decisions on all real estate matters in those companies. And for the life of me, why Georgia, much less Cherokee County, is not marketing to them. I've been to 4 of their conventions over the last 6 or 7 years, and in all the major states, including Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, they're all there, but Georgia wasn't there. And when you walked up and talked to the South Carolina people, it was really maybe one person, one or two people from the Georgia office, and then there were little side areas where counties were saying, hey, let me tell you what's going on in my county. And the main reason I belonged to the organization is I worked for a developer of medical office buildings, and we were trying to figure out where the new hospitals were going to be built. And those economic development people knew that. And when we would find out where the new hospitals were being built, we would go buy 4 or 5 acres and start working to put a medical office building. So there's 2 simple things I can start with.
Thank you.
Cherokee County does own a number of properties. Should these potentially be sold?
Without a doubt, if I'm fortunate enough to win on May 20th, I'm going to ask my friend Jerry Cooper, who's the county manager, to hand me a list of everything owned by our county. And and being someone who has an expertise in real estate, I'm going to take a really hard look at everything we own, whether it's the recycling facility that's all in the news, or whether it's the little Canton City Club Health Club that we bought that's just sitting there empty. Why can't we act like a business? If we don't need it, we sell it. Now I know there's rules for governing authorities in selling things. I think you may have to get an appraisal, or you may have to auction it or something. But if we don't need it, we need to sell it. Simple as that.
Do you support a T-SPLOST initiative?
I would offer my support for a T-SPLOST initiative if it was appropriate for some things I mentioned earlier in Cherokee County, and also if it actually made common sense. The last one didn't make common sense. It's got to be good for Cherokee County, and then it's got to be good for the region, because we are all here in Atlanta together, and if Atlanta starts going down, i.e. the Detroit type thing, everybody else is going to go down. So we still have to, protect that nest egg down there.
Thank you.
Where can the county budget be trimmed?
We can sell excess property. We can the information I gave earlier about the county attorney's office. We can look at licensing fees, which are basically just a small tax. And other than that, I've not performed detailed analyses of the budget or talked with our CFO.
Do you support interbasin transfers of water?
Do I support interbasin transfers of water? That was a big topic when I was in office between '99 and '03, and my research indicate that it was pretty much already happening, even though everybody was all scared of it. Water is a natural resource that we all need, especially me after riding my bike over here, that we need to take care of ourselves. And if our neighbors need water, let's share our water, but let's make sure we share it responsibly.
What is the current state of the Aquatic Center's bond and finances?
I don't know the answer to that question. So,
And what is the current state of the county?
I think our county's doing really good right now. During the downturn, we offered some. We've cut the employment as best we could. We offered people early retirements. We're a pretty lean, mean machine now compared to all the counties around the state. So I think we're doing quite well right now.
Some of the tougher questions now. Have you ever had any license revoked or not renewed for cause, or been the subject of professional discipline or cited for a breach of ethics or unprofessional conduct by any bar association, disciplinary committee, court, administrative agency, or other professional group, or have you been expelled from any organization, and if so, please explain?
No, sir.
Have you or has any organization or business under your control ever declared a bankruptcy or been sued or currently facing liens or other financial issues?
None of my businesses none of my businesses are facing liens or anything like that.
Thank you.
And I've never declared bankruptcy.
Have you ever been arrested for or convicted of any crime excluding minor traffic offenses?
No, sir.
Please describe one instance in which you faced an ethical dilemma and how you resolved it.
Boy, that's a hard one. I'm trying to have to reach way back. You know, I can't really think of anything right now, and I'm gonna keep pushing here and talking because I know I'm on film. You know, for up until when the recession started, I was a Rotarian. Rotarians have a four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerns? I've never really faced any major ethical dilemmas other than some very minor ones that were employee issues when I served on the commission before. Because I'm pretty much, the reason I don't work in corporate America is I'm pretty brutally honest and speak my mind, and you really can't do that in corporate America. So, you know, that's all I have for that question.
Are you currently connected to any outstanding unpaid taxes in any way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything else we should know that has not been addressed? And this is also your time to address the voter and tell them all about yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I feel, other than, excuse me, my nose itches really bad, and it's itched for about 10 minutes now. You know, when I was commissioner down here, you know, I served all of western Cherokee County, which included Waleska, Sutali, Waleska, Holly Springs, all of Woodstock, you know, all out Oakwood, Ackworth, and Town Lake. And I had to serve with another commissioner. I just had to live in the south end. We got a whole lot done in what is now District 4. We widened Eagle Drive. We put sidewalks on Rose Creek Drive. We put sidewalks on one side of Town Lake Parkway. You know, we expanded both Hobgood and Barnett Park, rolled the millage rate back every year. And over the last decade, I had become kind of disappointed with not a lot had been done under the previous gentleman that served. And as it got closer to election time, one of the reasons I expressed interest in running is for that specific reason. Is that, you know, people down here are kind of disappointed. We're the economic engine that has really turned this county around, whether it be currently from the awesome development that's in downtown Woodstock that draws people, or everybody that lives in Town Lake, or the new Cabela's. We're the economic engine. We pay at least 40% of the taxes. I've been told by some people it's almost 50%. Well, are we being taxed without being represented? No, you know, kind of yes, kind of no. But that's what the voters I'm talking to are saying. They're saying, you know, last 10 years you spruced up Hobgood Park. Oh, it looks good, and you paved our roads. Well, you're supposed to pave our roads. And oh, by the way, when you paved our roads, you had a $4 million budget, and we did it in $2 million. Well, what are you going to do with the other $2 million? Is that going to be spent in District 6, or is it going to be spent in North Cherokee County? There's still more to do, and it's really not a lot. It's almost like my last year in office, when I served before, I was trying to do my best to get Town Lake finished, which was my home. You know, to get the sidewalks and get everything I could get done, and I couldn't get it all done. So, you know, I think with my knowledge of being on the commission previously, and you know, in my experience in the real estate community and my connections in Atlanta, I think I'm the strong representative to serve District 6.
Thank you very much for taking the time to be here today.
You're
we
welcome.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for volunteering and
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate you,
Yeah,
sure.
you joining us for this. We hope you found it interesting.
It was.
Thank you.